Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the Thessalonian books. I know I did. Gives us some great perspective on prophecy and the hope and joy that we have to look forward to. Well, now we're going to jump back into the Old Testament with a very unique book, the book of Ecclesiastes. This book does not directly identify its author. There are quite a few verses, particularly verse 1, that imply Solomon wrote this book, and that is the conventional belief. Solomon's reign as king of Israel lasted from around 970 BC to 930 BC. The book of Ecclesiastes was written towards the end of his reign, approximately 935 BC. This is a book of perspective, really important. It reveals the futility of seeking happiness in worldly things. In other words, for the majority of the book, Solomon looks at life without an eternal perspective at all, as if this life was all there was, which in the end helps believers appreciate having God in their lives even more. He uses the term under the sun a lot to refer to life on this planet without heaven. Most every form of worldly pleasure is explored, and none of it gives him a sense of meaning. In fact, throughout most of this book, he's kind of a Debbie Downer. But in the end, Solomon, who refers to himself as the preacher, comes to accept that faith in God is the only way to find meaning. He decides to accept the fact that life is brief and ultimately worthless without God. The narrator, or the preacher, advises the reader to focus on an eternal God instead of temporary pleasure. Here we go. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What advantage does man have in all his work which he does under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. Also, the sun rises and the sun sets, and hastening to its place, it rises there again. Blowing toward the south, then turning toward the north, the wind continues swirling along, and on its circular courses the wind returns, which is another insightful statement about weather patterns, similar to what we saw in the book of Job, from somebody who had no technology available to understand it. All the rivers flow into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place where the rivers flow, there they flow again. All things are wearisome. Man is not able to tell it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor is the ear filled with hearing. That which has been is that which will be, and that which has been done is that which will be done. So there is nothing new under the sun. Wah, wah. And I think you're going to be hearing me saying that a lot throughout this book. Verse 10. Is there anything of which one might say, see this, it is new? Already it has existed for ages which were before us. There is no remembrance of earlier things, and also of the later things which will occur. There will be for them no remembrance among those who will come later still. The activity in God's creation over many generations compared to the brief events of man displays disappointment to human efforts. I, the preacher, have been king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I set my mind to seek and explore by wisdom concerning all that has been done under heaven. It is a grievous task which God has given to the sons of men to be afflicted with. I have seen all the works which have been done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and striving after wind. What is crooked cannot be straightened, and what is lacking cannot be counted. So no matter how the preacher ponders, he cannot straighten out life's anomalies. I said to myself, behold, I have magnified and increased wisdom more than all who were over Jerusalem before me, and my mind has observed a wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And I set my mind to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I realized that this also is striving after wind. Because in much wisdom there is much grief, and increasing knowledge results in increasing pain. The expected outcome of wisdom is success. But Solomon concluded that there were no guarantees. This grieves the one who places his hope in human achievement. And what I find interesting about this is that the same can be said from the extremely wealthy today. There are millions who commit suicide that have lots of what the world would want. We all know that money does not buy happiness, and without God, people find a vacant, empty pit in their souls. Okay, well, to close out for the day, we're going to reflect upon the old hymn, Come Thou Almighty King, written in 1757. The author was unknown, but the music was by Felice de Giardini. And as we read through this, let's really appreciate the fact that God does exist and how wonderful that truth is. Come Thou Almighty King, help us Thy name to sing, help us to praise. Father, all glorious, over all victorious, come and reign over us, Ancient of Days. Come, Thou incarnate Word, gird on Thy mighty sword, scatter Thy foes. Let Thine almighty aid our sure defense be made, our souls on Thee be stayed, Thy wonders show. Come, Holy Comforter, Thy sacred witness bear in this glad hour. Thou who almighty art, now rule in every heart, and never from us depart, Spirit of power. To the great one in three, eternal praises be, hence evermore. His sovereign majesty may we in glory see, and to eternity love and adore. Okay, you guys, thank you for being here. We will carry on and get more of a perspective of the great things that we're blessed with. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Take care.